Seal hit. Let's go now. A little life out here. Let's have a little life out here.
Hey, what it do, Packer Nation? I'm Camille Davis coming to you on another episode of Ahead of the Pack. I am joined, as always, by Dan Kotnik and Monte Moore. Gents, how did you enjoy the bye week? We took the week off. There was no opponent to preview for us on Ahead of the Pack last week, so we had the bye. How did you guys enjoy your week off?
It was nice. There were only like good games last week.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you felt the need to be locked into your TV for the whole slate. Like if you needed to have an errand to run or whatever, you could. Baseball, right? The baseball wild card was on. So having to watch, meaningful baseball helped a lot too. So I enjoyed it, but I am absolutely ready to see the Packers on the field again because we haven't seen them win a game for a month. So
yeah, it's crazy. A loss and a tie will do that in a bye week, and it's just like, dang, I want to win. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, because I have kids, I have to, you have like whenever you schedule all of your important activities, family things around bye weeks, Thursday nights, Monday night games. So this week was filled with a lot of fall festivities with beautiful 85-degree weather to really put you in the mood for pumpkins and hay rides.
Hot apple cider for there.
Right.
Exactly.
Like I haven't even wanted to put like my fall decor out yet because I'm like, it does not feel like fall at all. Like it has been hot. So we've been holding off on the flannel and whatnot coming out over here. But we don't have to hold out on talking about the Packers having a game again. The wait is over. And this week, the Cincinnati Bengals come into Lambeau for this game. A Bengals team that has now lost 3 straight games after a 2-0 start. In that second game of the season, of course, Joe Burrow does get hurt. Jake Browning comes to the game, and he's been their quarterback, since that moment, which leads us here to the opening drive of the show where we talk about the biggest storylines heading into this week's game. And I got to start here because Joe Flacco joined the Cincinnati Bengals on Tuesday, and he's expected to start this game on Sunday against the Packers. Not as if Joe Flacco hasn't seen Green Bay so far this season, but my question with him coming into this game here as the storyline of the week is like, does Joe Flacco really change the offense enough to give you concern about the Packers defense slowing them down? Because when you think about the Bengals offense, already the weak point was the offensive line. Not great. Part of why Joe Burrow, is not playing, just
right.
He's offensive line. You put Browning back there. He does not look good himself while he's back there tossing interception after interception after interception.
Out.
Man, he's second in the league in interceptions. Jake Browning is after starting playing 4 games. He has 8 of them things.
It's kind of unfair because that's the one thing the Packers defense needs is to start getting turnovers.
Right.
I don't think that's bad sportsmanship by the Bengals to not let the Packers feast on the turnovers that they need in this game.
But here's the thing. Jake Browning had 8. That's second in the league behind Geno Smith with 9. Joe Flacco is third with 6 interceptions. So it's like they made this quarterback change because Jake Browning wasn't doing enough, and they bring in Joe Flacco, a 40-year-old who was benched in his prior team, who does not have the mobility that a Jake Browning does behind a Swiss cheese offensive line, and a quarterback who also has some faults when it comes to accuracy, big plays, performing under pressure. So I'll ask y'all, like, Dan, do you fear, quote unquote, if that's the right word to use, respect the Bengals offense more with Joe Flacco at the helm of it?
No. And neither does Vegas. I mean, there was, the line was 14.5 in favor of the Packers before Joe Flacco was a Bengal. It stayed right there. Exactly. And that's the thing, like when they talk about spreads, like quarterbacks are the ones that affect it the most. If he coming in here doesn't change that at all, Vegas isn't worried. I'm not worried. I'm literally only worried that there's the now outside possibility that we lose to Joe Flacco twice.
in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks to both Ohio teams, like that's a special kind of hell.
Yeah, I mean that is truly. I mean that's an astronomical spread for the NFL. Like that's ridiculous. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, obviously some of the fans have the apprehension, right? Because the ones that are glass half empty, that contingent is, we already lost to Joe Flacco one time, and now he's playing with like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But like Camille said, the line is worse.
Yeah.
And Joe Flacco was really bad in that game. Like the Packers were all over him the entire game. They had double-digit pressures. He was kicking and dunking everything. So to answer that question, no, I mean, he doesn't affect what I think this game needs to be from a green point. The Higgins and Chase are so good, they're kind of going to get theirs to an extent, no matter who's playing QB, right? But I don't think either Jake Browning or Flacco can do enough with those two to make it, anything near interesting.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. By PFF's pass blocking grade, the Bengals are 29th. By run blocking, they are 32nd. So this is an offensive line that is rated poorly in every situation that they can possibly be in. And Flacco is coming from a terrible offensive line in Cleveland. And this one is somehow even worse than what he just left there. And to your point, Monte, about the fact that Flacco was on the Browns team that beat the Packers before, it's not as if Joe Flacco was the driving factor in that victory. Like, he only had 142 yards. He averaged a season low 3.9 yards per attempt. He was sacked twice. He threw an interception, no touchdown passes. Like, the Packers didn't lose against the Browns because of Joe Flacco. The Packers lost because of the Packers.
Right.
Mistimed interception there down the stretch, the blocked field goal, like it fumbled, but it wasn't because of Flacco. So I'm with y'all. I don't fear the Bengals offense anymore with Joe Flacco at the helm. And also, picking up a system in 4 or 5 days is difficult. I don't care if you have been in the league for 17 years. That's hard. But yeah, that's something I was looking at, because that's the big storyline. Like, oh, Joe Flacco, new to town. How does he help? Honestly, I don't see how much he's going to be able to, but we'll see on Sunday. But Dan, what is your big storyline that you're watching for the week?
Well, I wrote in the Google Doc. It's a love story, baby. And this is little two-parter here. The first one, the Packers side of things, obviously. It's time to start having the conversation that Jordan Love is a top-tier quarterback in the NFL. Like, the metrics are all there. He's playing in an offense right now that is doing everything possible to hinder his performance as a quarterback. 2 of your starting offensive linemen are out. Your next man up that you want to have, and Anthony Belton, is out seemingly for an extended period of time, according to...
didn't sound positive
at all.
Yeah. The run game, which is what they hung their hat on last year, is awful this year, a large part to the offensive line. And Jordan Love is still playing at an elite level. It really shouldn't make sense, like, with the metrics of how this offense is supposed to run. And so he's doing all of this. He should be given the keys to this offense until proven otherwise. Like, this is Jordan Love's offense. It needs to start running through him, and he's the primary driver behind how this offense runs until, like I said, until he proves it otherwise.
I think that's fair. I think that's really fair to point out with Jordan Love too, because even by the numbers, like, he's top 10 in passing yards per game. I think he's throwing for 250 a game right now, and that's including having the bye.
Yeah, he's at exactly 1,000 yards.
Right. So 250 a game there. He's top 10 in passing touchdowns with 8. We know the past 2 seasons, interceptions were a talking point. He threw 11 in each of the last 2 seasons, but it's only been 1 so far this year, and that's coming with him pushing the ball downfield. We know he's been averaging like 8 yards per attempt. He is trying to air it out when he has enough time to actually let the play develop and get the ball out. And the offensive line just has to continue to do a job of protecting him. Like, we saw a better job in Dallas the last time we saw them on tape, and it just has to continue to get better for them because, to your point, Dan, Jordan Love has been hooping this year.
Yeah, he's like been far and away the best quarterback in the league from a clean pocket when they're getting those chances. So I think, specifically that kind of metric where what do you do when the pocket's clean, right? That's what do you do when you have the kind of ideal situation for a quarterback. I think that kind of stuff is sustainable, right? You're the best in the league at doing what a QB should do when it's blocked up. And like, it's obviously important to be able to do stuff when the play breaks down, and he is fine at those second reaction things. Like, there's no issue there. But it's like when a QB has a lot of success off of that, that's not really sustainable, I feel like. So I think Dan's right. I mean, Josh Jacobs is really good, top 5 running back, right? But with the way the offensive line has been in flux, and there's been so many moving pieces and so many of these players, learning new positions, and Aaron Banks has barely been able to play, and he was one of your supposed to be a stalwart, right? Until that's kind of ironed out, like, you're going to have to just let Love throw the ball. Like, we're not sitting here saying, 45 to 50 attempts a game, but I mean, I think if they get back to that throw to run mantra, which they kind of used to be, I think that's what they need right now. And he did. Again, the Cowboys defense is terrible, but he showed that he could do it. It was like, we need 3. Okay, we want to got 7. Now we need 3, like, tied up the, tying field goal drive. Like, that type of stuff back to back in a game that is hopefully over the bye week, they looked at that, and like, all the coaches kind of looked at each other in the room and were like, let's just let him like throw it. Let's
my other point with this, and I think it's apropos. Taylor Swift released a new album last week.
And
is this on the dope sheet?
I went back. This is not in the dope sheet. This is the Dan Kotnik dope sheet right here. The Packers historically 11-4 in games following an album release from Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Averaging 15.9 average. That's an average margin of victory of 15.9 points.
Yeah, they're blowing teams out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Out of those,
what was the last game? Do you know?
The most recent game, because they are now 11-4 overall historically. They are on a 2-album losing streak.
Oh no!
At the moment. The most recent one, obviously, was the Tortured Poets Department in 2024, which came out in I think it was April 2024. So the first regular season game after that, Brazil. The one before that was when she released 1989 Taylor's version, which was also in the off season, which was the season opener against the Vikings 24.
Okay.
10. So, but I think, you're 5-1 at home after a Taylor Swift album gets released. I'm feeling very good about our chances here with Life of a Showgirl. So
they need the home cooking too, right? I mean, not that this team isn't good enough to win on the road. Again, we just saw, like, if you weren't a Packers fan or a Cowboys fan, probably one of the greatest regular season games ever.
Right.
So it's not like they can't perform on the road. It's just the energy that we talked about the energy that this season started with, and then rolling into 4 games, like 4 days later against the Commanders, like, they just bottled all that up to open the season. And now, a bad loss, a frustrating tie, and a week off, like, Lambeau's going to be rocking, because I doubt a lot of Bengals fans kind of made the trip to go watch Flacco.
It would have been different if it was a different Joe. Like, if it was Joe Burrow instead of Joe Flacco, like, you might have seen more Bengals fans in the audience.
Like, people that weren't planning on going because they're like, I don't want to go see Jake Browning at Lambeau Field. They're not going to want to do it now that it's Joe Flacco. So it should be pretty large contingent of Packers fans there. There shouldn't
Yeah.
be much orange, I don't think.
I would agree with you on that one. And also, folks, this is why you tune in to Ahead of the Pack, because where else are you going to get the Taylor Swift Packer record stats?
You're not getting
Like
that
this-
anywhere else.
Like that one surprised me. I was like, what? That's the record?
One more tidbit.
let me hear it.
Most common opponent. They've played Chicago 4 times
Wow.
post a Taylor Swift album and 4-0.
Well, I guess technically you have the better chance, right, of playing a division opponent any given year.
Then
But
one
yeah,
else.
that adds another layer to the Bears-Packers
rivalry.
Adds a Swiftie layer to it, you know.
The Swifties are on our side.
And we ain't talking about we ain't talking about Mr. Swift who's over there running the football either. But Monte, what is your storyline that you're watching heading into this Packers Bengals game?
Mine is going to be which unit that we've seen perform at its best will do it against a bad team at home, right? Is this going to be a game where the line still struggles because Trey Hendrickson is no slouch? It's been well known now that the Packers were trying to get him before the planets aligned, and somehow they were able to get Micah Parsons.
Thank you, Jared.
But I mean, like again, we're recording this Wednesday. We don't really know who's going to be playing on the line. Like Tom came back to practice, and so did Banks, but there's a lot of time remaining. So if the line is still banged up, and Hendrickson, is kind of teeing off, is this a game where the offense struggles to score like 20 or 24, right? And with a bad offense and a bad line for the Bengals, like, is this a game where the defense can hold them to 10, 13? Because they held the Browns to 13. Shouldn't have been enough to win, but unfortunately it was. So coming out of this game, kind of know who you feel better about going in to these next couple. Because again, like, play the Cardinals, who don't look very good, but then we know what's looming week 9 in terms of, that's going to be a playoff game, right? So I think this team I want to see them regroup, and with all the heat that Matt LaFleur has been taking over the last, 2 weeks, I think he needs to have one of those like LaFleur masterclass games, even though it's a bad opponent. I think he needs to have one of those all gas, no brakes, as fun as the saying is. Like, they haven't lived that. So that's what I'm looking for.
It would be nice to see a complete game from the Packers, where we do see complimentary football over the course of the entire 4 quarters. Like, given the Bengals struggles offensively and defensively too, because yes, Trey is cold. Like, you got to respect what he can do over there. He's an elite player. And former, we got TJ Slayton over there as well, trying to hold it down against the run.
Game.
Right. But like, outside of that, like, the pass rush isn't really scary. You look at like the corners, like, all right, they got some guys over there, like Jordan Battle, Geno Stone, like, it's more of a safety duo right there. And it's like they're pretty good against the run. Like, they can do their thing, but like, do they really like strike fear into your heart with what we've seen Jordan Love and this Packer offense do? Does the Bengals defense strike, fear into your heart? Not into mine. Does the Bengals offense, the skill position players, do a bit, because I respect Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but hopefully the Packers pass rush is all geared up, amped up, ready to go, and he doesn't even have enough time to find them down the field. So that's the hope.
Yeah, I think as great as they are, they're clearly mitigated by how much time the QB has. And I don't think that should be much in this game, which means, like, right, one of the marquee matchups isn't, let's see how Keyshawn Nixon can do against Jamar Chase. Like, they're not going to be playing man coverage.
Right.
Like, the pass rush should be getting home. They could play zone, eyes on the football, and just kind of sit back there and wait. And that's what they did against Flacco the first time. You mentioned TJ Slayton. Do you know which other former Packer in the recent era is on the Bengals? Dan probably does. He read the dope sheet.
This could be this is a great segue into connections. Like, let's just hear them all.
Okay,
Boy,
so
I'd like to hear Monte. Yeah,
but who are you talking about?
In addition to the TJ Slayton revenge game, this is also the Oren Burks revenge game. He's still kicking around the league, and he's not just collected a check. Like, he's been pretty solid, kind of everywhere he's been since Green Bay. I remember he had that like one stretch in San Francisco when he was like one of the best linebackers in the league for like a month and a half or something. Yeah, so Orenburg's returning to Lambeau Field along with TJ Slayton.
Super Bowl champion Oren Burks, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some respect on it. And
With
there's
the
some more
Eagles.
connections too.
Yeah. I mean, I thought you were going to go Mike Pinnell, sticking in the defensive tackle.
I forgot he's on there too. Man.
And I don't know if I didn't look to see if he was the current starter, but Lucas Patrick is on this team.
I think he's
as well.
I think he's their starting.
Is he the
one
starting?
of the guards? I think he's their left guard if he's
Okay.
healthy.
The offensive line has been so poor in Cincinnati that they are like waiting for Lucas Patrick to get healthy, to get back on the line. Like they're like, this is going to be helpful. And I'm not trying to disrespect Mr. Patrick or anything like that, but I think that says a lot.
I mean, we remember what the general attitude towards Lucas Patrick was while he was here. So, but again, he's that same type of player, right? He kind of plays all over the line for them. He's like the first guy off the bench and all that. But okay, so I totally forgot about Mike Pinnell. Like he was good while he was here. He was
one final one. Both these head coaches, Matt LaFleur and Zach Taylor, coached together on the same Los Angeles Rams coaching staff in 2017. I believe Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator, and I think Zach Taylor was like assistant wide receivers coach. And funny enough, a little nugget. I'm just full of little nuggets today. I don't know if anybody. I remember this story happening. I had no recollection of it being Zach Taylor, but Zach Taylor is married to the daughter of former Packers head coach Mike Sherman.
Yeah,
What?
Mike Sherman is his father-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay,
For some reason that stuck out to me. Like it was literally when Mike Sherman was head coach at Texas A&M, and Zach Taylor came on his coaching staff that same year was when they got married.
Hey, listen, they say football is family. It truly is here. It truly is.
I think if you're like really any younger than any of us, like even by like a couple of years, you probably don't remember the Mike Sherman.
No.
Era.
That was a wild time.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy. Wild might be an understatement. The Mike Sherman time, but we want to get wild here. Let's talk about some bets. Something that we do every week here on Ahead of the Pack is we try to make up some bets for the game. Maybe something that you wouldn't see on a Prize Picks or a FanDuel. Unfortunately, mine is kind of like that this week, but we try to have them a bit more fun and off the wall here. So since mine is more like traditional bet, Monte, what do you have this week for your bet?
All right. So I am going to go with, this is a, how do I word this? So we're all annoyed at the special teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Between every time there's even a mildly good return, there's a penalty. On the punt, like on punts, there's always seems to be a holding penalty also. So the Bengals' strength is, like Camille said, at the skill position players, specifically Jamar Chase. I'm going to say, do the Packers have more return yards in this game than Jamar Chase has receiving yards?
Ooh. My instinct is to say no, which is crazy to say.
It feels crazy to say that, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It feels like they should easily be able to get 80 return yards or 100 total.
I don't know.
Because the Bengals are going to be punting a whole lot, right? We'd expect them to be
theoretically
having a rough day on offense.
Yeah, I think we'll go no. Unfortunately, I think that's a tough one. I don't have the faith in special teams to make that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Although Jamar Chase is like statistically an anomaly this year, where I think he has like more tackles than drop passes this year or something like that.
He went off against the Lions.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, a lot of that was garbage time, but who cares? He was still out there doing his thing. Like, he's still elite. Like, I know he gets, unfortunately, like, I think for the last couple of years, like, there's a legitimate argument between like him and Jefferson.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Jamar Chase's QB gets hurt all the time. So you know what? I think I'm going to put the last of my faith in Rich Bisaccia here. I think maybe over the bye, he had a real come to Jesus moment, right? He really self-scouted. I think the Packers have a good day returning punts. So I'm going to say the Packers have more punt return yards.
I'll tell you this. If this bet was like on a prize pick, this particular bet would have the little red devil face by it. Like, this is a difficult one to get. Like, you're gonna get a bonus on your parlay if you get this right. In addition to it. But Dan, what's your bet for the week?
Special teams.
Okay, double down then. What do we got?
Special teams.
That's just the bet.
Something wild, stupid, crazy happens. I just have it. Special teams, like it's gonna have. It's kind of like how the Supreme Court defined pornography. Like I can't give you a definition, but I can.
But if you see it,
you know what it is.
Yeah,
and it's like you're gonna be watching this game, and something's gonna happen, and you're just gonna instinctively yell "special teams," and you'll be like, "Dan, hit it."
The way you said special teams reminds me of an episode of Martin when Cole just kept saying random spoons, and he's like, I have an idea for random spoons. Like, that's how special teams. They're gonna do something. I just know it. I'm taking that bet with you, Dan, by the way. Just special teams, because I will.
Yeah, I mean, I can't not take it.
It can be good,
right.
It can be bad.
I'll take the special
good.
teams.
You don't know. Special teams. I'm with it. I'm taking that bet too. My bet this week was based on something Micah Parsons said prior to the Browns game of haven't gotten Flacco yet. Want him on the list. Does he get added to the list this week in Lambeau with Flacco behind an even worse offensive line than what Micah Parsons and company saw him behind prior?
I absolutely think so.
I mean, hope so.
You know it annoyed him not to do it, and now he gets another chance after a bye, and now he should really be like unleashed, right?
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, he played a ton against Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of maybe the start of him playing like his full-time role. But again, we're going to get that crowd back at Lambeau. It's going to be hell for Joe Flacco. Like, he's getting one. Like, I can't imagine he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I definitely think he gets it this week. And now, predictions. I don't know how we count. Last week was a tie. We all thought the Packers would win. They did not win, but they did not lose. So, like, are we still?
I think we all had them scoring high. I think Dan had them in the 40s.
I think I did have them in the 40s. Yes.
Yeah, I think you had like 42 or something. So I think we didn't lose because we didn't win.
All right. Do we get a tie?
we got a tie.
Do we get a tie in our prediction record? Are we 2-1-1 too? But
that's the most annoying part, by the way, is like looking at the standings rest of the season.
I hate it.
Stupid one.
I hate
no one else, that only one other team is gonna have. It looks so aesthetically unpleasing.
Yeah. I can't stand it. But predictions for the game this week. I will say this. The last 4 weeks, the Bengals have allowed 37 points, 28 points, 48 points, 27 points. Meanwhile, the Packers have scored 27 or more in 3 of their last 4 games, including, of course, the 40-point game in Dallas. That said, I think my prediction for this week, I'm going Packers victory. I'm going 37-18 Packers win. 18 I know is a weird football score, but weird things tend to happen when the Bengals and the Packers play, so I feel like they can get to 18.
That's the special teams. It's going to be a
special teams.
Punt. They're going to be backed up along the goal line, and there's going to be a bad snap on the punt.
They're going to say special teams, and then
I'll go here. My score prediction follows closely to what you're saying, Camille, in terms of that every time the Packers play the Bengals, it's weird. Being from the Cincinnati area, it eats me up inside that we can't just ever beat this team and just be normal. Yeah. I think I saw a stat the last time one of these matchups was decided by more than one score was 1995.
Wow.
30
years?
Wow.
Yeah. And I think we've played 14 times, and only 4 times in the history of this matchup has it been more than 2 scores between the teams. So with that in mind, I am taking the Packers. I will say 30-24.
Okay.
Oh man.
People will be upset if that is how that one shakes out.
Real upset.
People will be really upset. I'm playing this a little bit of the reverse psychology, because I've been like super high the last couple weeks. So I'm playing this a little bit closer in hopes that they prove me wrong again.
Monty, where are you at for your predictions?
So speaking of like you guys both kind of talked about wacky games, like the last 3 that come to my mind immediately are that one where the guy stole the ball from Favre during the game.
We lost that one too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
First of all, that is incredibly a huge indictment on like the security of the stadium, because if that guy had way worse intentions, like,
Oh yeah.
So I remember that one, and then there was the one where Rodgers threw one of his career 3 pick sixes
Yep.
to Kareem Jackson, and like I just remember I watched it on TV, but like you could tell in the stadium that everyone was like, "Are teams allowed to do that? Can they run interceptions back on Aaron Rodgers?" I didn't think that was allowed. So that was a shocker. And then the absolute drunk game from 2021 where they missed like 6 field goals. Like 6 straight field goals got missed. It was at least 5 in a row between the 2 teams.
That was a crazy game. I remember that one.
I had to cancel plans after that game. I was like, I had like dinner plans. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I have to recover.
Watching that game at a Packers bar was insane. Like the mood swings were unbelievable.
I can imagine.
But I think if any game between these 2 teams sets up to kind of go chalk and as you think it should be, I think it's got to be this one. And to be honest, if it ends up being the kind of game that Dan predicted, I think there's going to be a lot of questions about like how good this team is. Because again, you had a mini bye and you put that effort out in Cleveland, subpar. Now you've had a full bye, and if you barely beat a team this bad. But I'm going more along the lines of Camille. I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win. I don't have him quite getting to 40, but I got him. I'm going to go 34. I'm going to go 34-13.
Okay. I would love that outcome as well. And that will wrap up the show for this week. Make sure you guys check us out as well over on the Pack a Day podcast. We are the Monday audio crew over there. So check us out post game after this Bengals Packers game. And to follow me individually, you can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky at Camille Monet, CamileMonae. Guys, where can they find you?
And you can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky as well. I'm at Ferturgeson, Ferdturgeson.
Yeah, and I'm on Blue Sky at Dano the Mano. And Camille, we are also not just doing post game next week, but you and I.
Yeah, you guys are doing the pregame.
Yeah, pregame Q&A live on the Pack a Day YouTube channel. So I mean, we are all over Bengals week. You can't get enough of Bengals week.
What better week to feature the 2 of you guys 3 times, and you had the Taylor Swift Easter egg.
Gotta bring that one back up during the Pack a Day live.
Oh yeah,
somehow.
I'm bringing that. I might make like a fun graphic or something.
Ooh, I love it. Let's do it. Yeah. Yes. That's the show for this week, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. Catch us elsewhere, wherever else you can, social media, other podcasts. And as always, y'all, go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.